First thing to look for is calories. Second thing to look for is serving size. Third thing to look for is the total protein in it. Now, here's where the trick happens. You could have a food with high protein content and the calories and the servings are good, but hi, my name is Mo Gayas. Essentially, I'm a kid who's obsessed with winning and sharing the lessons with you because growing up, I wish I had someone like me to help me out. On the Healthy Systems podcast, you will learn one main idea, system from each episode that you can use in your life, whether that is financial, relationships, fitness, and wellness. So if you're a millennial, you're hyper ambitious, this podcast is for you because the more systematic your life is, the more you can win and not waste time. So join me on your journey to building a life of healthy systems for yourself. Hey, welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. Today's healthy system will be on nutrition, specifically how to read nutrition labels. So this is a concept that obviously in the developed world, you buy a lot of packaged goods that have nutrition labels on them. So just learning to read the nutrition labels will set you up for success when it comes to your fitness journey or fat loss journey specifically. So generally what happens is a lot of people, they don't know what to look for on a nutrition label or they look for the wrong things. So after coaching over 900 clients in the last 7 years, I will try to simplify this for you and what things I look for and what things I try to avoid. Because obviously in nutrition alone, you can get a complete PhD in. You can get a PhD in just one sector of nutrition. Let's say that's the protein. So there's so much knowledge in here. So generally the purpose of this podcast is to just simplify it into 5 minutes so you actually know how to read a nutrition label when you go to the store. Okay. So when you go to the store, let's say you know what you're looking for, and I'm not going to tell you what to buy, what not to buy, but I'm just going to tell you if you look at a nutrition label, what to look for. So the very first thing you look for on a nutrition label is you look at the calories, how much calories are in it. But here's the trick. Sometimes nutrition companies, what they do is they try to trick you by reducing the serving sizes to, let's say like you're looking at a bag of M&Ms and it says, oh, 100 calories, right? It just says 100 calories in a big font. And then you realize on top of it, it says there's 9 servings in this packet. That means it's not just 100 calories, it's actually 900 calories in that packet. And most of the time, you're not just going to eat a little bit of M&M, you're probably going to eat the whole packet. So at the end of the day, you didn't just consume 100, you consumed 900 calories because there were 900, there were 9 servings of 100 calories in it. Okay. So first thing you look for is the calories. Then the second thing you look for is the serving size. How many servings are in it? And it'll tell you 2 servings, 3 servings. Sometimes you might have to weigh your food to truly be accurate, right? Some foods, it says, like if you look at a bag of cereal or peanut butter, it says, 1 serving, I believe, of peanut butter is 22 grams, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that means, okay, that's like, to really be accurate, I have to actually put it on the food weighing machine, which is like $10 on Amazon. But if you wanted to be really specific or really accurate, you could use that. But overall, first thing to look for is calories. Second thing to look for is the number of servings in that packet, because they will trick you into thinking that you're consuming less calories than you are. And then the third thing to look for is the total protein in that. Ideally, I want you to have more of a protein-rich diet, which means almost anything you eat should have protein in it, right? Whether you're on a road trip, go for high protein snacks, whether you're at home trying to find something to eat for dinner, try to go for a high protein option. So first thing to look for is calories. Second thing to look for is serving size. Third thing to look for is the total protein in it. Now, here's where the trick happens. You could have a food with high protein content and the calories and the servings are good, but you could also have that in that same food that you might have a lot of carbs. I remember the first time that hit me was I was flying from LA to Salt Lake City and I was at the airport, one of those shops, and I went to get a protein shake, right? It was like 2 p.m. I was hungry. I was like, I don't have enough time to get lunch, but I'll just grab a protein shake and I'll be good to go. I grabbed a protein shake and literally the label said protein shake on top. I forgot the brand, but I remember just looking at the protein intake and the calories. I'm like, this checks out. I get into the plane and I look at the carb intake. So protein, I remember, was like 11 grams of protein. And then the carbs, it was 22 grams of carbs, and 19 of them were sugar. And I remember laughing at myself. I'm like, man, this should be called a sugar shake, not a protein shake. So please look at, after looking at the protein content, look at the carb content. And then some products like the Quest bars, they do have high carbs, but majority of those carbs are fiber, right? I would rather you eat more fiber than more sugar, right? Because they're both under the carb category. So look for, high protein, make sure it has low sugar. And if it does have carbs, it should be fibrous carbs, not sugary carbs. So those are like the couple things to look for. In terms of the label, that's all I technically look for. Some foods that are, like some things like beef, for example, or even some healthy protein shakes might have more fats. And like they might have high protein, but then the second highest macronutrient would be fats. That's generally fine because most things found in nature, like dairy, like milk, even ground beef, they tend to have high fat content, and that's fine. We need fats in our diet. And when people talk about getting fat, that's different from the dietary fats. They're two different things. So just remember that. I know I'm covering a lot, but that's generally the concept. So I'll summarize it for you. When you look at our nutrition label, look for the total calories. Second thing to look for is how many servings are in that package. Third thing to look for is total protein intake. Fourth thing to look for is the total carb intake and how many of those carbs are sugar. If it has a lot of fiber, that's actually good. So just, pass that exam for that. And then the last thing, those are like the top 4 or 5 things to look for. But the last thing to look for is look at the ingredients. So at the very bottom, they'll have ingredients. And there's like some products are highly processed and they have a lot of ingredients. If you had to compare two things, right? And you're like, which one is healthy? Generally, the healthier one tends to have less ingredients, right? If you see a lot of like magnesium sulfate or this or that, I just made that up. But like if you see a lot of big scientific names in the ingredient list, that generally means it's a highly processed good. It was processed in a factory, added multiple things in it. And that doesn't always work well with our human stomach, right? So try to opt for things that have less ingredients, and then I would go from there. But overall, hopefully this short podcast helps you identify how to actually read a nutrition label, because at the end of the day, when it comes to fat loss, the number one factor is how many calories you consume in a day. And you might not even know it, but you might be consuming twice the amount of calories you need. And that's why you keep gaining weight. And no matter how much cardio you do, you won't be able to burn off the calories that you can eat in a single Snickers bar, right? Like it's just, you can do 1 hour of cardio and lose maybe 300 calories. And you can eat like 3 spoons of peanut butter and wipe that out. So at the end of the day, just remember that calories matter. And when you're looking at a nutrition label, just go in that order. Start with the calories, then go to the serving number, then go to the protein, then go to the carbs. Make sure they're fiber and not sugar. If it has a lot of sugar, leave it. And then those are the things you look for, and then the ingredient list. So hope this helps. If you want more details on this, just shoot me a DM on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll love to help you out further. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. One, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at MoeGaius, MoE, as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.